Okay, Branquinho. This is Branquinho. He is a beautiful, beautiful friend. I saved his life at birth, and now he rewards me by being my constant companion. I just didn't know how wonderful animals could be. Okay, you go play now. All right. Okay, so here I am again. Um, I was to begin the next installment of Road to Victory, which would be number 10. However, I decided to go backwards and to do an introduction into the whole thing because some questions came in, and I noticed by the questions that people were watching the videos haphazardly. So I made this one, and you start with this one. This introduction gives you a little bit more reality on how to study, and then you go to number 1 and so forth, and 2, 3, and so forth. So the first thing you have to pay attention to is words. If you don't understand the word, you can't get the idea of what the whole thing is about. Words are crystallized thought. Therefore, they are very, very important to comprehension and understanding. So, if you don't know the meaning of a word, it should be looked up in the dictionary immediately. So that's the very first thing. It's a simple thing, but most people don't bother looking up the words. Then, you need to start. If you are already, for example, studying tape number 5 or number 6, you should stop it and come back to this one first. This is the introduction to the whole thing. And since I've already introduced some of the principles in the further tapes, this one is mostly to give you a better idea on how to study this thing. So, you watch this tape first. When you finish this tape, look at it one more time. Then go to lesson number 1 and watch that one time. Then come back to this tape, the introduction, and read it if you have the book, or study it on the video for the last time. Then go to number 1 and study number 1 twice. Then go to number 3. Then come back to number 2, watch it one more time. In other words, each video should be studied at least 2 or 3 times. That is the only way that these principles sink in, because these principles are not popular out there. In other words, they're a little different than the common things that you hear all around. It reminds me of the seminars that I used to go to when I was young. You go in there and they rah-rah you and get you all enthusiastic, and you're going to be confident and all of that. If you must act confident if you want to be confident. That's all hogwash. I tell it like it is. You want to have confidence, you just have to learn to be who you truly are. And when you find who you truly are, of course you need honesty to watch that, to learn that. Because you need to be honest with yourself in reality. You need to look to see, and you need to look at yourself to eliminate the negative aspects of your being. And the closer you come to yourself, that's what they mean by self-realization. You come close to who you truly are, and you find out that you are a beautiful person. You don't need to play games anymore. You don't need to lie and cheat and be good for others, and you don't need any of that. Now, the next thing is that you should study one of these per week. And then you observe your life throughout the week in connection with what you studied that week, with the tape that you studied. Now, if you understand everything and you feel that you are more advanced than the video that you're watching, then by all means move on. On the other hand, if you start seeing these tapes and they're not for you, don't waste your time. Life is too short to waste time on things that you don't like. For example, I have a course number 5 which is self-transformation through personal magnetism. And I often get parents sending their kids, not little kids, but bigger kids, to me to take that course because maybe they're having a little trouble with them. Also, spouses, the husband wants the wife to come and take this course, and so on and so forth. And sometimes they come just to please the other person. But I can spot that immediately. In my studio, the minute somebody walks in through the door, after 40 years of coaching, I can tell everything that's on their minds. And it's great. I don't use it against them. I use it to help them. So I'll go ahead and give them the first session, and then I notice it's very clear that they're really not interested. So I tell them the truth. And I tell the partner the truth also. I can't accept this student because he's not interested. So why waste time? Go play baseball or something, or go swimming. So if you don't like it, don't do it. Then we spoke about the dictionary, and then after this tape that you're watching right now, you go to lesson 1. If you've already seen that, then move on. But in that lesson, I outlined what the course was all about. This course is based on a book which I wrote not too long ago called The Road to Victory, Create Your Own New World. And basically it's based on 4 things. And the first one is, I'm going to just outline them very quickly here now. The first one is a secret, which I call the great secret. Nature abhors weaklings. Thus, the game of life is rigged up to do you in. And it will, unless you, who are the highest manifestations of the life force in the universe, recognize this and then exercise ruthless discipline, diligence, and ethics in order to win the game. That is happiness. Then, by and by, the winners become part of the cosmic hierarchy and direct the physical universe. That's the step number 1 in the course that you have to meditate about and think about. You know, we were brought up with certain ideas about life, but that's not what it is. We can't see it, we can't see the truth of it because we have been conditioned with all kinds of goody-goody, sweetie-tweeties, nothing. But we don't want sweeties, we want effectiveness, we want production, we want somebody to master the physical universe so that when it comes time to leave this planet, you can say, I am leaving. I've decided to leave now. That's quite a bit of mastery already. So that's the first part, is the great secret. Then we go into your purpose of life. Each person has a purpose in life. You need to discover that. Once you discover that, you align it with the purpose of life itself. All this is explained in the videos and in the book. And if you don't have the book, I suggest you order it from my website. The address is there somewhere on YouTube. Then we go to number 3. That was the purpose of life itself. Then I use Timothy Leary's slogan of turn on, tune in, drop out. Except I don't do it with the LSD like he did. I don't do it with drugs. Drugs are an awful thing, a horrible thing, including medical drugs. I don't take any of that stuff, nothing. Once in a great while in an emergency I might take something to take the pain, but that's not very often. I would say that in my whole life I didn't take more than half a dozen times, all my life. So stay away from those drugs also. And so we're going to end off here. If there's something that you want to know, feel free to contact me by email. My email is there. Okay? Very good. Thank you very much for listening.